When my parents and I first got to New York when I was 17, I wasn't so delighted at first. Yeah, it's the Big Apple, but moving meant I had to leave all my friends back at Cold Springs in Tennessee. After moving to New York, I knew no one here, and apparently, New Yorkers have no clue who they're living next to. A doctor, a lawyer, a psycho, a criminal, who knows? But that didn't stop me from getting introduced to my neighbor who lived across the street. We lived in a rather quiet neighborhood, 30 minutes away from New York City. Here I would like to think unsuspicious, ordinary families lived. And across the street was a couple who had 2 daughters. The elder sister, Rachel, was a little shy, while the younger sister, Stacy, was wild, but fun. I enjoyed spending time with them, and over the days I grew close to Rachel, as we were the same age, sophomores in high school. Rachel and I would sit out on the porch and talk while Stacy would race down the street on her rollerblades. We spoke of our college plans. Neither of us had any wish to go far. Well, we were in New York, we didn't need to. Tons of people moved here for college. But we were simply planning on going to community college and see where things would lead us from there. 5 years passed. Things were all right. Rachel and I were about to graduate college that year. Rachel was doing well, working as a makeup artist at a film production studio, and I got a corporate job at a tech firm. Rachel and I were best friends. In those past 5 years that I've known her, it didn't take me long to realize something wasn't right. Rachel, what's wrong? It's nothing, leave it. Are you ever going to tell me what's on your mind? Jess, I'm fine. Like it couldn't be more clear. I'm fine means, no, I'm not fine. Tell me what happened. It's just Kevin. He can be so difficult sometimes. He has the strangest fantasies. Oh, I see what's going on. Just stop. This is why I didn't want to tell you. Kevin, Rachel's boyfriend. I never really liked the guy, but if Rachel loved him, what could I say? It was between the two. Rachel would often be complaining about him, but at the same time, she was so much in love with him. She couldn't leave him. I tried to cheer her up now and then, but now I regret ever giving Kevin the benefit of doubt or listening to Rachel's obsession with him. I'll always blame myself for that. I failed her as a friend. It's been 3 years since Rachel took her own life. She jumped into the river. She was only 25. I was shocked, devastated. I couldn't believe it. Every moment I ever tried to get Rachel to open up haunted me. The guilt of not trying good enough was killing me. I lost my best friend forever. I was never too close to Stacy, but after Rachel passed away, Stacy and I gravitated towards each other in order to cope with the tragic loss. As a matter of fact, Stacy and I formed an even closer bond than that I had with Rachel. It was majorly due to the fact that Stacy was very talkative and open. She always told me what was on her mind, and she wouldn't hesitate to ask me the most personal questions. Sometimes it made me feel a little guilty when I remembered Rachel. But Stacy's parents were very kind and compassionate towards me. They were grateful for our new friendship. They believed my presence had really helped their daughter through the grieving process. But there was one thing about Stacy that I never seemed to like, or understand for that matter. I guess she didn't want to be reminded of the tragic event. I too would end up crying every time I remembered that day I saw Rachel last. It's been so many years, but Stacy still doesn't like talking about Rachel. Sometimes I open up my picture book that Rachel and I had made together. It's nice to go through the memories now and then. But Stacy never liked it. She would leave the room upset. When she saw it, or me watching an old video of Rachel and her, eventually, I stopped mentioning Rachel whenever I was around her. I understood the grief she may have gone through. She didn't want to experience that again. Over the days that I spent with Stacy, I came to know exactly why people called her wild. She was temperamental, but I'd managed to calm her down, speak sense into her. Perhaps that was why her parents liked having me around. Jessica, you need to come with me. You need to come with me. I really need your help. What is it? I don't know how to tell you this, but remember Kevin, Rachel's boyfriend? Yeah, what about him? He's been blackmailing me since Rachel passed away. I can't take this anymore, it's been too long. Blackmailing? About what? Kevin has some letters, pics, and a tape of him and Rachel. You know, that kind of tape. I can't let him expose that to everyone. He's so sick. Rachel is dead, and he's using it to his advantage. I've been saving up some money, but Kevin's demanding too much. What? We need to get rid of it for Rachel's sake. How much is he asking for? I took out all the money I had saved up, and Stacy and I got counting. Luckily, with what Stacy had and my savings added up, we had enough. Where are we going? Where is he? He's waiting at the town's graveyard. No one will see us there. Stacy and I drove, and before long, we reached the huge graveyard gate. Stacy stopped the car and got out. Wait here. I have to open up the gate. She unlocked the gate and came back into the car to drive it inside. She then went out again to close the gate. When I spotted Kevin, I could never understand what Rachel saw in him. Kevin was a psycho creep, and now I was even more disgusted by him. Stacy was a good sister, and I was happy to be helping out. There he is. I watched as Stacy ran to Kevin. They spoke for a while until they exchanged hands. Stacy grabbed onto the bag tightly and came running back to the car. Jackpot. Great. Now let's get out of here before Kevin changes his mind. You never know what that creep has under his sleeve. I always had a feeling he wasn't the right guy for Rachel. Stacy tossed the bag onto the driver's seat and went to open the graveyard gates again. As I sat alone, curiosity got the best of me. I needed to know what was recorded on that tape and what was in those letters. Was this the reason why Rachel took her life? When I began reading them, I was thundered to discover the scandalous secret the two were hiding. This was what was bothering Rachel. As I tried to piece everything together, I opened the camcorder and played the video. My skin turned pale when I saw the tape. Just then, Stacy opened the car door. She took the camcorder from my hand and shut it off. "You don't need to see that," she said as she got into the car. Stacy pulled the car out and closed the gates again. I watched her cheerfully getting back into the car. She looked happy and relieved after getting hold of that bag. Now I know why. Stacy began driving. I didn't know what to say. After a moment of silence, she looked at me and smiled. Those letters weren't between Kevin and Rachel. Those were my letters that I sent to Kevin. You see, I had a crush on Kevin since the day I saw him, but I always had to get in the way. But she got in the way of everything. Kevin was dating Rachel at the time, but it wasn't like he didn't like me. He loved me. He was cheating on Rachel with me. I told him to leave her, but he wouldn't. I sent him letters warning him I'd get it my way if he didn't leave Rachel. He couldn't be with both of us at the same time. He had to choose. When Rachel found out, she was mad. She wanted revenge. I knew Kevin loved me more. He told me he only loved me. He was just using Rachel. He told me he would help me to get rid of her. But when he came with his camcorder that night, I knew he only came to enjoy the catfight. When he laughed on and recorded me and Rachel ripping each other's hair. I took Rachel's life in front of him. He didn't see it coming. But Kevin and I dropped her into the river and set her up so everyone would think Rachel took her own life. Neat, wasn't it? I only stared at Stacy as she spoke with a smile on her face. What had I done? I was sitting next to a killer. Someone that felt no guilt in taking another life. The life of her own sister. But now that I knew her dirty secret, what was Stacy going to do with me? If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.